Start. Yeah, this is the English session. We're live in 1, 2, 3. By 3, 2, 1, 3, 5, 6. And here we are. Hú, tényleg kevésbé agresszív fejet kéne vágnom. All right. So, welcome again in our regular lean agile transformation Q&A open event live session at balagile.com, where our mission is to boost your agile rockets. Okay. Our motto is to win the time to market race using agile. So that is where our focus is. All right. The question that came in today for today's session is the connection between the product owner and the business performance, and how and why should a product owner think about economic terms, or think in economic terms. And the reason for me seems to be quite straightforward, because a product owner is responsible for the product's market performance and the product's evolution. So how we set up user stories and business logic workflows and product vision and business model canvas and all the rest of those artifacts is about the evolution of the product. How we perceive our users, our customers, how we communicate, how do we find the value propositions, how we're going to engineer the business value delivered. Well, that's about the market market performance part of the product owner. So as a product owner, these are the two main dimensions of your responsibilities. Now, without an economic view, one of my favorite agile writers is Donald Reinertsen, who says, take an economic view. So without an economic view, as a product owner, I cannot be responsible, or I don't see how can I be responsible for the products or services market performance. I can be accountable, but that's not fair to be accountable for something that I cannot be responsible for. So this is why I need an economic view. Now, how are we going to progress from here? A product or a project usually does not end with its final delivery. Okay, because, well, if there's an evolution, if there's a market performance, well, there isn't really a final release. So if it's on the market and it has to stay alive, it has to perform well, somebody has to be able to take responsibility for the economic decisions. You are the product owner. And as a product owner, well, I'm product owner. I have to be able to make certain decisions, and I have to influence the product as if I would be an owner. Therefore, I am responsible for making all the economic decisions as well. Okay, so delivering something. Andri, is tudunk valamit kezdeni ezzel a zenével, mert rohadt olyan tudok koncentrálni. Nem tudom. So, as a product owner, we deliver on time, we deliver on budget, we deliver using the mindset for winning the time to market race, but the product's market performance does not end there. The market performance ends when, as a product owner, I actually finish the product. I kill it. I stop the server. I stop the service. Now, that area, that time from going live to actually taking the product or service off the market, well, there are quite a lot of elements there that me as a product owner, I have to take into account and deal with it. For example, support, QA, certain developments, guarantees, bug fixes, change in the personnel and the expert team that I need in order to, well, evolve the product and stay in market. And these things are somewhat translatable into backlog items, and some of them are not. But they are all parts of the economic powerhouse that can either cripple or help a product owner to perform well on the market with the product or the service. Okay, so when as a product owner, the team has accumulated technical debt, for example, during the production, and we went live, and this technical debt now starts wreaking havoc on the product, and we have to fix bugs, we have to refactor elements, we have to rewrite certain elements. Well, that is not only a direct cost, there is also an alternative cost for it. What does it mean? Some of the people, some of the experts are performing the fixing or rewriting or optimization of the code or the service, but at the same time, these people are not performing other new added value activities that me as a product owner would need in order to evolve the product and, together with its evolution, enhance or manage or engineer its market performance. So always consider the alternative cost of every resource that you use, and always think in advance. What will be the cost structure of the product look once you're live? And this is something that you have to consider and monitor continuously. Therefore, a product owner's best friend is the finance, the controlling, the marketing, the customer care, customer support. So all these experts are there, or should be there, in order to help me as a product owner making economically viable decisions in order to enhance the products or services market performance, not just to deal with the backlog items, the user stories, the business logic workflow, and to go live with a certain product. Okay, so product delivery is just a part of what a product owner does. But as an owner, I'm responsible for the full product, and therefore I have to take an economic view. Now, this is, or most of these elements are, absolute classical corporate or enterprise finance, classical economics. Read a couple of books, get some inspirations, and start looking for the elements that that you want to measure, that you want to or have to deal with. Now, there's a great help there, which is called the lean-based types. So if you guys, or ladies and gents, as a product owner, you hit Wikipedia and search for lean-based types for software or digital products, or just in general, you will see the 7 or 8, it depends, 7 for production, 8 for software, types of waste. Now, as a product owner, if you ask certain experts to help you identify and find these lean waste types in your product's value stream, how the product operates, how the product produces business value for the users, the clients, how the product performs, what are the processes behind keeping a product alive, and you're searching for these waste types, well, basically, you've done most of your homework. The result will be there, the economic view. The second part of it is, well, actually building certain kind of action plan of what kind of waste type you want to deal with in this month, or maybe in the next 2 months. What will be the action items that you are expecting either from your experts or from the system or from yourself as a product owner in order to enhance your products or services market performance. Getting rid of waste is at least as important, if not even more important, than producing or bringing in new users, new customers, new license agreements, whatever that that you're selling for. Okay? So, and this is dealing with the 8 waste types and dealing with the actual sales pipeline are 2 elements that you have to consider as equally important in your tool bag or in your set of responsibilities as a product owner. As a product owner, you have the possibility, or should have the right and the possibility, to ask all the different departments or experts within the organization to provide you with data, to provide you with insights that you can later on translate into action items. Some will go into backlog, some will go into your process mapping or process optimization efforts. Now, once you're done with this, all you have to do is live, die, repeat. I love that movie, by the way. Okay? Any questions so far? Let me see the comments. Anybody hears the death metal or the grindcore in the background? All right. Okay. So let's dive a little bit deeper into this rabbit hole. Let's see what are the waste types that usually cripple a product owner's efforts when, as a product owner, you want your project or service to perform better in the market. First of all, there's a very, very subtle and I don't know, important element. It's called the waste of waiting. Now, in order to operate your product, there will be certain, or there has to be a value stream. And below the value stream or behind the value stream, there has to be a process map. As a product owner, you are responsible for overseeing this process map. Now, once you see the process map, you will ask, or you should ask for certain measurements in the process. Very simple two elements, the lead time and the cycle time. How long does it take in hours to perceive or leave a certain part of the process? And during this interval, how much effort actually goes into it. That's the lead time and the cycle time, basically. Wherever you see that the lead time cycle time ratio is too unhealthy, because there is a huge lead time with very small cycle time. Let's say like there's a task that takes 5 minutes to perform, but it was 2 weeks. It took 2 weeks to perform those 5 minutes. In this case, the lead time and the cycle time look really bad. And this means that there is a very huge element of waste of waiting. Now, you can also wait for information. You can also wait for decisions. You can also wait for reports from experts. You can also wait for bringing in results from the market. Let's say like we started a new feature. How many people are using it the first time, the second time, the retention, whatever. So all these elements are elements of waiting. And waiting is costly. The time to market race does not depend only or solely on the product delivery part, how fast can we reach the market, but also once we are in the market, how slick or how sorry, I forgot the word. Anyway, how impediment free, that's it. How impediment free your processes are. Because a time to market also present in your processes. Once you deliver a service, how can you deliver it again? Once you deliver the product, how can you deliver it again? Is it faster? Is it more impediment free? Is it easier to manage? Okay, so that's one element. Now, there is a very disgusting trap that some of the product owners fall into, which is the product goes well, sales goes well, new customers and users are coming in. But as a product owner, you don't necessarily try to follow, and especially not manage, your churn rate. How many customers go out? How many users go out? How many subscriptions you lose? And you should always consider the ratio of the new incoming and the churn. Because if you manage those two and you put it into a diagram and you see that it looks okay, but suddenly there's a delta, there's a change in the ratio of the new and churn, you will possibly have to react. Now, this reaction can either be managing your or changing your strategy, or changing your tactics, or maybe even changing the product or the processes. Now, churn rate is something that you have to ask for. Unfortunately, in most cases, it is really rare to see a system that deals with the churn rate on the product owner's level very aggressively. I mean, in the good sense of the word. So this is something that you have to deal with, the churn that you will have to deal with aggressively. And even if your money comes in and it looks, wow, it's more profit and even more profit and even more profit than before, and you get sort of lazy, and you don't really deal with how customers and users actually leave the product, what you don't manage the churn, or you don't monitor the churn first of all, then once the sales goes down, or you reach the peak of the market, well, your profitability will start to diminish. Therefore, as a part of the economic view, deal with the lean waste types, okay? Especially pay attention to bug fixes, type of waste, and waste of waiting. And together with it, please always consider your value chain, your value stream, the process map, and how well the lead time and the cycle time looks in the certain elements of the process, and what your churn rate is in the end, how long a user or a customer is producing value for you. Okay, that's the average customer lifetime value. And what is the average customer lifetime? A user or a customer can stay your customer for a long, long time, for years even, but the customer lifetime value is really small because in the beginning he pays or she pays something and then just uses it. Well, if that's the case, consider managing your strategy a little bit better and try to find solutions when you are dealing with your products or services evolution of possibilities of upselling or cross-selling to your already existing customers and users, offering new value propositions in context with the product so that they can actually generate for themselves new business value throughout your product or service. Okay, so that's also a possibility. Or the customer lifetime is really short, but the customer lifetime value is really high. Let's say I buy a service that is really expensive, I use it once or twice, and that's it. Okay, but in this case, is there a way to find an elongated or a longer customer lifetime, and then later on you can think about adding value so the customer lifetime value also increases? Or in certain cases when it's not possible, but there can be new business models or side products that you can actually build a new service or new product upon, and maybe in that case you can have a longer customer lifetime with a more steady stream of customer lifetime value. Now, is there any remarks about this element of how a product owner and why a product owner should think about or in economic terms as well? My final thought for today is that a product owner is necessarily in some certain extent a business developer person. He owns the excuse me. He owns the product. He has to make decisions as an owner. And we want that product to be in the market as long as possible, producing as many value as much value as possible for the customers and users, and of course producing economically viable revenue for the service provider or the product provider. And this, in essence, is business development. Okay, a product owner rarely is alone in an organization and rarely is alone in the portfolio. When there are more products and services next to each other within an organization more product owners, these product owners have to synchronize, they have to synchronize regularly in order not to cannibalize each other's users base accidentally. This is something that is also part of the economic view. Why? Economics depends on the number of users, the number of customers, the customer lifetime or lifespan, the customer lifetime value. Without these elements, I cannot make economic decisions. Now, when another product owner accidentally cannibalizes my user base with a service, then of course I lose business. So I make more efforts. With those efforts, I actually cannibalize his user base or customers, and there you achieve or reach a point when there is an absolutely unhealthy a competition within the organization. A portfolio manager's or a chief product owner's task is achieving a level of not synchronicity. Sorry, just a second. A level of collaboration amongst the products and services that actually produce an even higher level of delivering business value. Oh man, I'm so angry. I don't remember the word. Well, never mind. So I don't remember the word. Sorry. So on the portfolio level, the product owners should synchronize amongst themselves and find the way of actually producing more business value for the customers and users through their synchronizing, even when they are using different or not using even when they are product owners of different services and products. And that's it. That's it for today. We will go on from here. Any questions or remarks? Symbiosis, that's the word. All right. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much for your time. And thank you very much for the question that started my monologue today. Hopefully, next time it's not going to be a monologue, but a dialogue with you guys, ladies and gents over there. Thank you very much, and take care, and take an economic view. Whatever